Hi all, hello, and welcome to Accelerating Revenue with IBM. Now, today's exciting webinar is sponsored by IBM and produced by IT Pro and Actual Tech Media. My name is Jess Steinbach. I'm with Actual Tech Media, and I am absolutely thrilled to be your moderator for this panel discussion today because I love this key word. I love the idea of accelerating. Now, my guess is that everyone here with us today has some big, exciting goals that they are working towards this year. And today, we're going to learn how IBM can help you jumpstart that growth strategy and hit those targets that you are dreaming about and planning for. Joining us shortly, we have two incredible experts here with us to explain how IBM's industry-leading technology like the Watsonx platform for generative AI, observability and Finops, cybersecurity, workload transformation, data modernization, and sustainability. Basically, everything that you have on your wish list, all the top of mind trends and hot button needs for your organization's business growth strategy. There is so much ahead of us here today, and I want to bring our wonderful speakers on out here with me and get started as quickly as we can. So I am going to zip through just a few housekeeping points that will help you get the most out of your time here with us today. First, I want to draw your attention over to the questions section of your webinar console. Now, the absolute best part of a webinar like this is the chance to ask questions directly of experts like we have here with us today. So make sure you're getting those questions, your ideas, your thoughts, your feedback, whatever's in your brain. We want to hear from you. We're going to have a live Q&A session at the end of our presentation, and we have some team members here with us from IBM answering questions throughout the presentation on live chat. And if that wasn't enough, if we are unable to get to your question today over live chat or in our Q&A session, the IBM team will be following up with you after we wrap the webinar. So that questions console is going to be a very important thing today. Let's give it a little test run right now. If you haven't already done that, give us a hi, a hello, tell us how your day is going, give a wave to the community out there with us today. I see some highs. Hi, Bill. Hi, Zhang. Hi, Andrew, Chris, Morteza. We've got a whole awesome crew here with us today. So keep those highs and hellos coming in. Now, that questions window is also the best place to connect with our team here today if you're having any technical issues. I do want to remind you that a browser refresh is going to clear out most of the usual tech gremlins. But if they have a good hold on you today and the browser refresh hasn't helped, shoot us a message right there in that questions window and our team will be there to help you out. All right, next up on this guided tour of your audience console, we started at the questions tab. We're going to go one over because we want to take a look at that handouts tab. There are so many wonderful handouts and takeaways, resources that you are going to want to have after we finish this conversation. There's an IBM Partner Survey form. We're going to hear a little bit more about as soon as we get into our session. I know you're going to want to have that open when we wrap. There's a wonderful handout exploring Partner Plus and how all the benefits, all the advantages, basically everything that we are about to hear about, this is going to help you kind of recall, right? We want to believe that we will remember everything in a webinar and we retain quite a bit, but there's just those little details that we need a little memory jog for, right? So get that handout, make sure you've got that because that's going to be a great way to remind yourself of all those benefits, all those advantages of being an IBM partner. Plus, it's going to make it even easier to bring that and share with your friends and your colleagues. Speaking of which, IBM has also provided the slide deck for our session today, which means that you can easily pass this information on to whoever needs to see it within your organization. Basically, again, this is the easy button there. IBM is handing you everything you need to recall all the wonderful things that we're going to be hearing today and share those with your team. Don't forget to also open the link to the Partner Plus website and spend some time exploring. This handouts tab is an absolute treasure trove. So I do want you to open all of these tabs. I want you to download these PDFs, but I don't want you to go too far away. Don't go down the rabbit hole of research just yet because we've got an exciting webinar in front of us. So open those tabs, save those for later because I promise you, as soon as we close out our webinar, you are going to want to spend some time with those. Well, speaking of which, I think it is about time that we get into our session because we have our two incredible expert presenters here in the wings, and I'm so excited to introduce you all to Caitlin Conroy, Director Americas Ecosystem Marketing at IBM, and Darren Nelson, Ecosystems Leader, Partner Recruitment Americas at IBM. We're going to get this dynamic duo on out here with us and get the show on the road. Darren, I think you are going to kick things off today, so I am going to step back and hand the mic right on over to you. I'll get you on out here with us. Take it away, Darren.
Thank you so much, Jess. Gang, I can't tell you how excited I am to get and chat with you about a tremendous opportunity for our company, the IBM company, your company, and potential customers. First, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to make a bold declaration. I have the pleasure of having the most enjoyable job at the IBM company. That's right. I said it with no disrespect to the other 280,000 colleagues that we have at IBM, but I absolutely have the most enjoyable job at the IBM company. You see, I get to lead a team of business consultants that all they do is help business partners drive accelerated growth to their companies powered by IBM. I've assembled a tremendous team, very, very skilled. I have one gentleman, for example, that we brought in from Amazon. All he's done is he's built tremendous partnerships with the Amazon partners. He's now doing that for us here. So those of you that are doing business on any of the hyperscalers, in particular AWS, he is doing a tremendous job lighting up businesses that are already monetizing the hyperscaler and AWS world, and then hyper growing it, also powered by IBM. I have another individual on my team. He's actually built 2 security practices for 2 separate cybersecurity firms, helping any of our partners that are looking to build an accelerated growth pattern for cybersecurity. I have another individual that after selling his VAR and SI, he actually went to work for a PE firm where he actually chose which businesses that PE firm would invest in. And in some cases, he acted as a virtual CTO and a virtual CEO. So it's just awesome that I have the pleasure and privilege of leading a team of these types of folks, but having the opportunity to interact with leaders of businesses such as yours that are looking to drive tremendous outcomes to your customers and possibly actually have IBM help you overachieve those objectives. So I am going to break protocol. I know that post-pandemic, many of you are fatigued from all the virtual meetings that you've had to attend, and you might already be going down some mind-numbing TikTok rat hole, but I want to keep your attention. If you pay attention at the end of this presentation, we're actually going to share with you how IBM is willing to invest in your business to help you drive accelerated growth. And what you say, why would you be doing that? Well, it's actually interesting. We are not your grandfather's IBM. I can tell you that because I'm actually back at IBM. I left IBM in the mid-90s. Yes, I'm an old guy. I worked in the mainframe development labs, but have the privilege and pleasure of building and selling 5 companies since leaving IBM, the last 2 of which were in the IBM ecosystem. But I want you all to understand that the IBM company has vitalized our portfolio. And we're at a point right now where there is more market opportunity than IBM can get to with our own sellers right now. We need your help. Frankly, we need you more than you need us. There is so much opportunity to get after. So we're very aggressively seeking out other business partners that have an interest and a desire for driving accelerated growth, exceptional outcomes to their customers, and have IBM help you do that. At the end of this very short discussion, and honestly, it'll only be about 20 minutes, we're going to take you through the simple steps you need to do to share your interest in potentially participating in that opportunity. So let's go ahead and get started. The way I'm going to cover this is first, I'm not going to talk about IBM portfolio. As a matter of fact, I'm going to mention very little about the IBM portfolio in this discussion. I want to talk to you about the technology hotspots that we're seeing in the market right now and where we're seeing a density of need. And it'd be interesting to see if you guys concur or if you're seeing anything different. I suspect we're seeing some similarities. And then very quickly, I'm going to point out the IBM technologies, portions of our portfolio that actually solve for those market hotspots in a best of breed fashion. We have a very vast portfolio. I'm going to save you a ton of time. I'm going to point out the portions of our portfolio that are solving those hotspots. And they're in best of breed, highly ranked by Gartner and our customers, for example. And then very quickly, I'm going to share with you just a high level indication of the benefits that you get from our Partner Plus program. That's the IBM program we use to enable our partners in our ecosystem to gain benefits. I'll share with you just what some of those benefits are, the levels are, and what the requirements are to hit each of those. And then I'm going to pass this off to one of my partners in crime. Caitlin Conroy is going to take you through some of the available partner resources, as well as this business ignition offer that I can't wait to get to for you. And then we'll take some questions and answers. So with that, let's get started. So let's start in the upper left. You know, there's no question that ChatGPT democratized artificial intelligence. I mean, think about 2 years ago, there was a handful of AI use cases and a lot of fantasy-like expectations as to what the market was going to do. But I'll be the first to tell you that ChatGPT democratized interest in AI. My 82-year-old mother was asking questions at the dinner table when we'd go and visit about AI. I mean, it just completely changed perspective of AI. Now, the various use cases that AI is being used for around ChatGPT and so forth may or may not have applicability to your business, but we'll talk about that. So let's look at some of these sparklers that we're seeing happen as we run down these in the upper left here. 80% of businesses will implement some form of Gen AI in the next 3 years. 75% of CEOs believe competitive advantages will be dependent upon how effective businesses are in implementing AI. And actually, there's been a number of folks, inclusive of our own CEO, citing the fact that there's been identified $4 trillion of global economic benefit due to Gen AI over the next 3 years. $4 trillion. We're actually seeing the conversational AI, right? Digital customer care, customer service, chatbots. That market alone is $54 billion with a 23% CAGR. So I don't think you can disagree that there's quite a bit of interest and activity around AI in the market right now. Let's move down to the lower left. Observability, Finops, some people call it automation. There's no question that there's a significant amount of energy and effort being around transforming workloads, right? Taking legacy applications or long and tooth applications and modernizing them, in many cases, either being on a public cloud platform or hybrid cloud, where a portion of them run on a public cloud and a portion of the applications run on a private cloud. That's a $700 billion cloud spend. But here's the crazy thing. 30% of that spend is not consumed. Businesses are overbuying, they're oversubscribing cloud resources and frankly, throwing it out the door. One of the biggest values of cloud-based consumption is the elasticity of it. But the challenge is you need to be able to measure and estimate what your consumption is now and what it will be in the future for you to effectively leverage that elasticity instead of oversubscribing. 44% of CFOs claim that they have a lack of visibility into their cloud spend. That's frightening. Almost half of the CFOs in this world have no idea how much they're spending on cloud, how effective they are on that spend, and effectively able to budget what that should look like for them in the future. Oh my gosh. 53% of users will abandon a digital experience if it's greater than 3 seconds. When I launched my first internet company, it was 1997. I was taking some of the first credit card transactions in the world. And we were killing ourselves to design for a digital experience that was less than 8 seconds. That was the design point. If anything took later than 8 seconds, we knew that our users would get disgusted, discouraged, and they'd run away and possibly never come back. In this age of immediate gratification, studies are saying have to be less than 3 seconds. Frankly, I think it's closer to 2 or 1.5 seconds. These millennials, man, they're impatient, man. They want to see a much more rich and much more quick, much more personalized, relevant experience. The spend in observability and Finops continues to grow at more than 20% annually. And then the automation spend, around observability and Finops is expected to be 129 billion in 2026. So I think there's probably little debate that, the financials around application optimization, application transformation, there's a tremendous amount of energy and effort and interest around doing that. Let's go upper right. Security. So, as I mentioned previously, I've been working in this industry quite a while. I'm going to say it, 30 years I've been working in this industry, there's been very few occasions where there's been persisted, unbudgeted buys, meaning a CISO can walk into a boardroom today and say, guys, I am sorry. There is a new type of threat or threat actor out there that we didn't know about or we didn't plan on. And if we don't invest in this cybersecurity tool, platform, or service, your faces may likely end up on the front of the Wall Street page of the Wall Street Journal for all the wrong reasons. And in many cases, those boards are like, okay, don't want that. Don't want that on my resume. And they make the buy. They find the money and make the buy. That has been continuing to happen over the last 4 or 5 years in security, and I don't see that stopping. The cost of data breaches is approaching $10.1 million per incident. There are so many ransomware attacks and fraud type things happening out there. We don't even know all of them. Most of them are kept quiet. 27% of these attacks result in extortion or an ask for money. In many cases, it's almost assumed. When applications are being transformed, they're baking cybersecurity into those motions. It's like, duh, we've got to secure these things. We can't leave it exposed. We don't want to be, our systems down or this application down or have our data exfiltrated and, be all over the news for the wrong reasons. So let's go down to the lower right, workload and data transformation. 47% of CIOs are planning on workload modernization as being a focus area in the next 12 months. Now, there's no question this has been going on for 5, 6, 7 years, but not necessarily from a focus area, meaning top priority application. So CIOs are prioritizing these workload optimizations and transformations as being a top priority for them. Businesses implementing efficient access to data often achieve 20% higher revenue growth rates. And believe it or not, there's 230 billion lines of COBOL code out there, still out there and available for modernization. Finally, let's cover sustainability. 76% of executives believe sustainability to be central to all of their business strategies. It's not a nice gesture anymore for them to try and be carbon footprint conscious. It's become part of their business strategy. And 72% of these executives believe sustainability to be a revenue enabler for them. There's $53 trillion being invested in environmental deprivation scale by 2025. So there are other technology hotspots that we could all debate on, but I think it's probably unanimous or close that there's no question that there's a tremendous amount of spend being done in these 5 areas. Here's the crazy thing. Gen AI, Watsonx, some of you may not have been working in the industry that long ago, but a little over 10 years ago, IBM's Watsonx actually won Jeopardy. We won Jeopardy. Early stage of AI but I'll be perfectly honest with you. We didn't do a very good job of packaging and bundling up that solution and taking it to market. We have now. We've actually got Watsonx.ai, which enables you to tune, manage, measure, optimize your deployment and your large language models. Watsonx.data, which does all your data curation for you and aggregation from various disparate locations. Watsonx.gov, which actually enables you to provide true governance to the experience, the AI experience. Here's what's really cool about that. IBM actually indemnifies our users for decisions they make with our AI and our language models. Look around the market, look around the industry. How many other AI providers are that confident in what it is they're deploying to avoid things like hallucinations or bias that can be caused when you trust untrustworthy AI or unethical AI? IBM's Watsonx is ethical, it's trustworthy, and it's devoted to business use cases. It's not going to write stories for you. It's not going to create your resume for you. What it is going to do is it's going to enable businesses to drive a level of productivity and insight like never before. The fourth piece of Watsonx is around Watsonx Assistant. And that's all around digital customer care, chatbots, and the like. So IBM has a very, very robust Gen AI and conversational AI platform that you can use to build and drive extraordinary outcomes for your customers and future customer prospects in the AI space, powered by Watsonx. So now let's go down to the observability, Finops, automation. IBM's actually made acquisitions in these places. Instana, Apptio, and Turbonomics is all around making sure we provide tremendous insight to your application consumption, your application optimization, your application expectations, and it's best of breed technology. In the sustainability space, Maximo and Invisi, Maximo around intelligent asset management and optimization, and Invisi around carbon footprint optimization. From workload and data transformation, we've got DB2 RDS on AWS. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. Cloud Pak for data, Cloud Pak for app, and integration. And then finally, from a security perspective, QRadar, Guardium, and Verify. QRadar is essentially XDR, SOC as a service. Guardium is data security. This is a huge gap. If you think about the kind of the maturity of business and market, how we've been securing our infrastructures, we kind of started out from the perimeter with network and firewall and then worked our way back in through application and identity and access management. But there's a huge gap. If you think about it, why do bank robbers rob banks? Because that's where the money is. That happens to also be the most valuable asset of your business. Your data is a tremendous business asset. And that's where the bad guys are going to go and try and hold hostage from a ransomware perspective and exfiltrate that. Guardium is best of breed at providing data security. And then Verify is IBM's platform for identity and access management. So I saved you weeks of investigation of our broad portfolio. We have a lot more that you're welcome to participate in. But if you want to get rifle shot and precise, where the hot spots in the market are happening, these are the portions of our portfolio that can enable you to be heroes with your customers. And then finally, we did make this little acquisition a few years ago, a little company called Red Hat. And there are two particular products in their portfolio. They have a very broad portfolio as well. OpenShift Cloud Platform, which is all around containers, providing true portability promise of your application so that you can write your application once and run them anywhere. It abstracts the infrastructure required to run that application so that the application can run on, you can move it from hyperscaler to hyperscaler, or from public cloud to private cloud, from device to device. It enables that true platform portability promise. And then Ansible is all around task automation. So really, really relevant technology that can power accelerated growth of your business. This is an interesting little tidbit that not everybody knows. IBM and AWS, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years in May, signed a strategic collaboration agreement. And you say, okay, Darren, great. What does that mean to me? If you would have said to me 5 years ago, 4 years ago, even 3 years ago, even, that IBM and AWS are going to collaborate And they're actually going to work together to drive optimized outcomes, leveraging both of their technology offerings. I would have said, you're crazy. Fortunately, our CEO saw that this is a tremendous opportunity. We need to meet our customers where they're consuming their compute and storage. Hyperscalers are here. There's a tremendous amount of workloads. We talked numbers on the previous slide. This strategic collaboration agreement enables our business partners. Well, first, it enables our technology to be sold in an AWS marketplace and consumed on AWS. It also enables our partners to actually resell via private offer our technology via the marketplace to be consumed on AWS, and our partners make 25% margin on that transaction. In many cases, that's just the beginning. What our partners are actually doing is they're selling an outcome to their customer, and it just happens to include some of our technology to provide for that extraordinary outcome. The real money they're making is around the managed services and professional service they're doing around that outcome on AWS. But here we give you as a partner the opportunity to package our technology in the solution and ultimately make 25 points of margin on the portions of the IBM technology portfolio that are included in your outcome. Just a fantastic opportunity. So you have the ability to resell our technology on AWS. You also have that for Microsoft, and not quite as many products, but more are coming. It retires IBM seller quota, retires AWS seller quota. It retires customer EDP. So for those of your AWS customers that have spend commits that they have with AWS, selling this solution with IBM technology through the marketplace actually buys down their AWS EDP commit. Tremendous opportunity. So what I want to take you through now very quickly, I'm not going to give you a complete education because we have the details of this online, but I just want to give you a glimpse as to the benefits you have available to you in our Partner Plus program. So I'll orient you to this slide. As you look on the right, as you move from bottom to top, it's the different levels of partnership program that you achieve with us. So you start as a new partner, you become silver, you can become gold, and then platinum. And then over to the left are the various benefits that you get as you move up that maturity and capability. We've divided those benefits as go-to-market, financial, and education. So you can see very quickly at a glance, and we're happy to provide you, a copy of this presentation, the recording, and the deck afterwards, so that you can dig into this. We'll also provide you a link to our Partner Plus site so that you can get into the gory details of this. But I wanted to see visually what you have available to you. Essentially, we want to provide you the benefits, the assets, the artifacts, the programs, so that we can enable you to effectively go to market and execute. Now, while this slide looks like it follows a similar architecture, it's slightly different. In this case, what we're doing is we're laying out the requirements for you to achieve each of those levels. But what you see is the requirements are now, the verticals are broken up into the 3 different types of relationships that you can have with IBM. Sell, service, and build are those 3 relationships. Sell is the very obvious one. For those of you that are VARs or SIs and you resell OEMs and ISV technology to your customers and you earn margin on those transactions, that's this motion. So the sell motion is very much relevant to those of you that are VARs and systems integrators that are reselling the entirety of a solution to a customer, including the entitlements to the ISV or OEM technology. Let's move over to the right. Build. Build is for those partners that are interested in not necessarily reselling the entitlements to the end user, their customers, but essentially wanting to bake IBM technology into their ultimate outcomes. And take level 1 support for all those outcomes, own the entitlements. The end user doesn't own the entitlements. But this is very, very relevant to ISVs and OEMs. You might have seen some of the examples of much larger entities, Adobe and SAP, are embedding IBM Watsonx in their offerings to provide a much smarter and more relevant experience for their end users. They have a build relationship with us that enables them to essentially procure IBM technology at a very, very discounted rate and bake it into their solutions. We're also seeing entities like MSPs or MSSPs that basically are hosting or managing these entitlements, providing for an end user or outcome. Finally is the service motion. This is frankly newest to our relationships. For many, many years, the IBM company was first and foremost wired as a direct resell company. Our systems, our sales force, our sales compensation was all about our IBM direct team reselling technology to customers. We then launched an ecosystem that says, okay, now we're going to enable VARs and SIs to resell our businesses, our technology to their end customers. There are a number of technology firms that provide managed and professional service that have zero interest in either reselling entitlements or holding those entitlements and taking level 1 support. They simply want to do, in many cases, professional services. And frankly, IBM, I'll just be perfectly transparent, didn't do a very good job there. We only held it to the big GSIs and we allowed them to participate, and the benefits were not very inspirational. They certainly didn't cater to regional SIs. That's changed. IBM now has a true, capable service track for those partners, those entities that just frankly want to do managed services, but want to get the benefits available to them for them to prescribe IBM technology in those motions. So those are the 3 types of relationships you can have with us. As you move up from the bottom to the top, from the right, on the right side, these are the levels. And then in each of these categories of relationships are the requirements of what you need to obtain to gain the benefits at those levels. So I don't want to go into too much detail. I just wanted to give you, we are not just a resale company. We're not just an embed company. If you want to do professional services and that's all you care about, we can cater to that as well. We need you more than you need us. We want to make it easy for you to do business with us. And we want you to be able to easily prescribe IBM technology in your customer outcomes via whichever relationship makes the most sense for you. Let me give you a partner use case. This was an existing AWS SI, US and Canada, 125 employees, 25 million in revenue. They decided they were going to start in the security space. They didn't have a security practice to start with. They were moving lots and lots of workloads. They had about 800 customers, lots and lots of workloads to the AWS platform. But they really didn't have a strong security practice. So they decided to offer an extension of their modern workload offerings to include security. Within 45 days of activating with us, they closed 4 security deals. They then expanded to include Watsonx in their AI offerings to their SMB customers. They went live, and within 30 days of expansion, they had 2 customer implementations, and 1 is actually featured on the IBM.com website already. During that process, they realized, this Instana platform is pretty cool and frankly offers some pretty interesting features over and above our current observability platform, New Relic. We're actually going to replace New Relic for all 250 of our managed services customers. And in 1 quarter, actually it was 1 month, and in the month of March, they actually closed 183 new IBM customers. Just a tremendous success story. I have several. This is one. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime, my marketing sister from another mister, Caitlin Conroy. Caitlin, take it away.
Thank you, Darren. Hi, everyone. So before I get to the offer that Darren mentioned at the beginning of the session, I want to talk through some of the marketing benefits that we provide to new partners. So when you become a partner with IBM, you get access to a platform called My Digital Marketing. And this platform is very cool. It's an all-in-one marketing platform that allows you to actually plan your marketing campaigns, build and personalize your marketing campaigns, and actually execute your campaigns all within the platform at no cost. So there is no cost for any of the partners that have access to this platform. One of the most interesting features of this platform is the personalization. So IBM is loading hundreds of pieces of content into this portal, from case studies to white papers to social tiles, email campaigns, everything you can think of. And within the platform, you can actually personalize them to your company. So you can add your logo, customize CTAs, and build them into the campaign structure that you would like to execute through the tool. I have actually linked the My Digital Marketing platform here at the top of the slide. And when you get these slides, I encourage you all to go check it out and start planning your first marketing campaign. The next slide goes through one of the kits or the kits that we have available for our partners. So My Digital Marketing, like I was saying, has a lot of different content that is available to you, but another unique feature that we have are these partner marketing kits. We have them for each of the solutions that are listed over on the left: security, automation, data and analytics, sustainability, and then infrastructure modernization. What's really interesting about these kits is they have both prospecting and progression components to the campaign. So you're able to get a full end-to-end marketing campaign in one. For the prospecting and progression elements, we give options. You can run a digital prospecting campaign or a event prospecting campaign. Same thing for progression. So you have the choice to execute the campaign with whichever method is going to best fit your go-to-market. Within each of the kits, there is a guide that walks you through the market opportunities around that solution area or product, the target audiences and personas that you should go after, the messaging that will resonate with that audience, and then the list of tactics and assets that we recommend you implement. Again, these are all completely customizable. You can use 20% of the campaign, you can use 100%. And some of the assets that are available in these partner marketing kits are listed over on the right. And when you get these slides, you will also be able to click the link in the upper right-hand side to access all of the partner marketing kits that we have available for our business partners to execute. The next slide is what you've probably all been waiting for, the offer. So we want to invest in new partners. We want to invest in you. We want to start running digital marketing, face-to-face marketing, any kind of demand gen marketing activity with you. So we have the opportunity for you to apply for campaign funding. We are making this offer available to any new partners to IBM. So this means a partner that has not done any transactions with IBM in the last 3 years, and you're interested in running a demand gen campaign for one of the software or hardware solution areas that IBM focuses on. In order to apply for this campaign, all you have to do is contact us and submit a campaign proposal. The steps are over on the right. So once you contact us, we will give you the campaign intake form that you will fill out. We will review all of the submissions, and then we will eventually select a few partners that we will move forward with for campaign funding, and then we will begin executing the campaigns with you. Now, one thing that I want to make sure comes through on this chart is you're not only going to get the opportunity to earn demand gen dollars with IBM, we're also going to make sure that you're connected to the distributors for additional demand gen support, either in our marketing campaigns they execute on behalf of you as a partner, or lead pass to you as a business partner. Darren, anything else you'd like to add on the offer?
So, Caitlin, you bullet 2, paragraph 1, you specifically say resell. Is this also available to those that might be interested in embed or build or service, or is it specifically just for resell?
That's a good question. We will consider build or service applications as well.
So I got to tell you guys, when Caitlin gave me an early Christmas present, when she proactively put aside budget for us to go after partners in 2024 and help them drive accelerated growth by investing in you. So I have to give her props. This was her idea. She put it together, and I couldn't be more excited about this. We need you. Come spend my money. Come spend my money. Caitlin's put this money together for us to help partners like you drive accelerated growth to your business. We want to help you grow your business. We want to ignite your pipeline. We have budget to help you do so. Take us up on this offer. I would love to meet you. I'd love to go to market with you. Your success is our success. That's how we architect my team's pay and how we go to market. We want to make sure that we're enabling our partners to drive their successful outcomes. So I'll stop here and give you an opportunity. You can scan this QR code. If you're interested in taking us up on this offer, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can scan this QR code and that link will take you there. But we will also be providing you a link to a post-event survey that will allow you to say, hey, I'm interested in that offer, or hey, I'm interested in speaking with someone from Darren's team, or I want to learn more. So please pay attention. I think we'll have it in the chat or in the asset portal, as well as a follow-up email. But if you're really anxious to get started, just scan this QR code, fill out that survey form, and we would look forward to engaging with you and helping you hypergrow your business powered by IBM. So with that, I think we're ready to take questions. Are there any questions, Jess, that we should be answering?
So many. We have so many questions coming in. We are absolutely flooded. I think you got my blood pumping with ignite your sales pipeline, and like I'm in. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
You want to become a partner, Jess? We can make it happen.
100%. Yes. You had me on hello, Darren. I'm in. I would like to spend your money. Yes. Thank you. We've got a lot of questions coming in. I'm going to try to sort through as many of them as we have time for. And I know that you guys have been answering some on live chat as well. So we've got a lively conversation going. But you know what? I'm going to start with this one here, Darren, because I think it actually ties in really well to where we were just chatting about and jumping in and getting started, because I think you've fired us all up. You've got us excited about spending your money and jumping in and igniting our pipelines. And we all want to do this. So we had some questions coming in, and from what I can see here, there's some interest in that next follow-up step. So what would you say is the best way to reach out and get started if somebody is interested in working with IBM?
Yeah, it's fill out that short questionnaire. It's a few questions just so we can kind of understand your specific needs, and I can make sure I link you up with the right people from my team. So you can either scan this QR code or Jess, are we supplying a link to that survey in the chat or in the asset portal? I need that.
Yep,
that's what I need them to do is go ahead.
Yes, all in the handouts tab. Yep, all nice and ready.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Hit that, fill that short thing out, and I'll make sure we get you linked up with the right person from my team so we can get started ASAP.
Perfect. Well, I think we all want to continue having conversations with you immediately. So clearly, this is the way to go. This is your next step. Open that tab now. Save that for as soon as we wrap, because you're going to want to make sure you've got a conversation booked with Darren. Darren, I'm going to keep the mic with you just a second longer here. I've got another question for you, and this is an interesting one. Wondering if you could give us some use cases that you've seen new partners finding the most traction with. Where have you seen that, Darren?
Yeah, that's so relevant. If you think back to that first major slide that I showed, where I showed the hotspots in the market space and where IBM truly excels: AI, workload transformation, Finops, observability, sustainability, and security. Those are the 5 areas that we're seeing the most density of activity. It's a perfect storm of opportunity because there's huge market demand. And frankly, those are areas where IBM has market-leading technologies And as I stated previously, we cannot simply get to all of the market opportunity that we have, and we need help. So those are the 5 specific areas that we're seeing the density of need. As I mentioned, we have other solution areas that you certainly are welcome to participate in if that's meaningful. The way we approach this is we take what we call an outside-in approach. It starts with us first understanding what are the strategic growth areas that you as a partner are wanting to grow your business. From there, we can then rationalize which portions of the IBM portfolio can best enable you to accomplish that. So while we're not going to come in and say, the answer is one of these 5 areas, what's the question? If there are other solution areas that you're wanting to grow your business, we're going to be very transparent and very honest where we can help you. But those 5 specific use cases that I've seen is basically we're drafting behind market demand, and we're able to satisfy those needs. But we're happy to talk to you in any solution area that you think you want help in. We're willing to chat.
And those are all really exciting areas. I think often, and we hear this all the time, right? Where there's upheaval and fast growth, there's opportunities, but you have to have the right tools in place and the right partners in place in order to take advantage of that. So I think, but I do really like that, Darren, that point of, just because this is what the main trends are, this is what we're seeing the industry going towards, doesn't mean necessarily that that's what's top of mind for you. So we won't predetermine your answer, but certainly I think those are probably going to hit for most of the audience out here. Let's try a question. Caitlin, I'm going to put you in the hot seat now if you're ready for an audience question. The slide that you had up with all the different marketing support, we got a few questions coming in around that. So I'm going to consolidate them. And really what I'm seeing is the audience kind of wondering how they get to access all of those wonderful opportunities that you had in the My Digital Marketing portfolio.
So it's actually very easy to get access. So the first thing you'll do is sign up for Partner Plus, create an IBM ID, and you will get access to the platform. It's truly that simple. We'll make sure that there's a link for you guys to go sign up for Partner Plus and directly link to the My DM pages for you to create an account.
Love it. This is an ongoing theme. We're making this as easy as possible today. We want to make it as simple as possible for you to start your best friendship with Darren, which is clearly the end game for all of this here. Darren, I'm going to kick this back on over to you because I think this is a question that you can help us with. Where can I sign up to become an IBM partner and gain access to the education and resources? We've talked about this a lot today, the Partner Plus, but give us that nice, easy button.
Yeah, so the easy button there is ibm.com/partner plus, one word. And I believe you're going to put that also in the asset portal, or where are you going to put so that these guys can see that? Is that
right in the handouts tab?
In the handouts, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so click on that, ibm.com/partner plus, and we can easily get you signed up. And as soon as you get signed up, you start getting access to the assets and artifacts, some of which we referenced, that Caitlin referenced, and those that I also referenced on those 2 slides that talked about the benefits and the requirements.
I think the reason we keep getting, and I feel like we've gotten this question in a few different angles and ways, is sort of like, wait, how do I do this? How do I do this? Is because I think we're all used to things being a little more complicated. And so it feels like there should be more gates and that we should have to, pay additional levels and sign up for additional members. And what I keep hearing from you guys over and over again is it's really this simple. We're visiting Partner Plus, we're starting our partnership, and then we get a whole plethora of incredible resources and support from you guys from there, which is pretty darn cool.
And that was intentional, actually. Partner Plus was launched a year ago. That our leadership intentionally took the complexity out of the experience and the content. It was, I can't even remember, Caitlin, you may remember the numbers. There was like tens of thousands of pages that were on our Partner World site. And I was a partner at the time, and I was like, ugh, this is just painful. I'd rather sit through root canal. But now what you've seen is a much more simplified approach to what the relationship looks like, and how we facilitate those relationships has become really, really simplified. So kudos and credits to our leadership that all re-architected our ecosystem partner program to make it as simple and easy. And frankly, in the lens of our partners, how they want to do business with us, allow them to meet us where we do business, and provide them the benefits and resources that they need to accomplish that business. So it should be a very, very simplified, personalized experience.
You know what, Darren, and I have to actually validate that myself. I got to have a conversation with a partner of yours, working with your European team a little bit earlier. And one of the things that I heard from this partner was that there was this huge amount of information, but was how helpful IBM was in walking through each step, in helping identify the information that was going to be valid and important for them. That, that it's not that the resources aren't, that there's a lot of resources available, but that IBM is actually very able and willing and capable to be there with you and help you find the best resources and the right information for you as you move forward. And this partner was over the moon about the support they'd gotten from IBM.
Good to hear.
So that's my thumbs up from the European crew, and I think we've got time for one more question here, so I'm going to sneak this one in, and then we might have to start wrapping it up. Caitlin, I think this one is going to go over to you. Is there a LinkedIn or social page that I can follow to keep me updated on IBM technology and partner programs?
Yeah, so there are two that I would recommend. One, obviously, follow the IBM main LinkedIn page, but make sure you go and follow the IBM Partner Plus LinkedIn page as well, because that's where we have the latest announcements for our partners, the latest enhancements to the programs, new use cases that are launching, and success stories. So the IBM Partner Plus LinkedIn page and community is where you can go to get top of mind information for the partner ecosystem.
Awesome. All right. Well, some great insight and information. I'm scanning through here, and we still have quite a few questions that we are not going to get to, but here's what we're going to do. For everyone out there in the audience who asked a question that we did not have time to get to today, either on live chat or in our wonderful Q&A here with our speakers, we are going to make sure that your questions get sent to the IBM team. So you will have a chance to follow up. The other thing is, if you're signing up for, to continue this conversation here and get this conversation rolling with IBM, you'll get all your questions answered anyways. So double whammy, one way or another, you will 100% get answers back. So keep those questions coming in, and be sure you're visiting that handouts tab and using the QR code that's up on your screen here. Thank you both so much for being here with us today. Caitlin, thanks for being a fairy godmother to everyone out there in the audience. That money, I'm sure, will be well spent, Darren, and you're about to have many, many more new friends coming at you through the pipeline. Thank you both so much for being here with us today, and thanks, Saul, for such a wonderful and interesting conversation. And of course, that brings me to all of you. And my last and final thank you, as always, goes to the wonderful audience here with us today. We so appreciate you taking the time to join us, to be a part of this conversation, getting to know IBM Partner Plus. We got some great information from Darren and Caitlin, lots of cool takeaways. My brain is still kind of buzzing about all of that. But what I'm most excited to see is where you all go from here, because you've gotten some key insights, some action steps, you've got some ideas on how to empower your team and start to make those big, maybe a little scary, but definitely shiny organizational goals a reality. And I cannot wait to see how you put these opportunities to work and get started on those goals, accelerating that revenue. This is going to be some cool next steps for all of you. So be sure, again, hit that handouts tab, get those resources, get those conversations started. Well, I hope that I get to see all of you again at a webinar soon. And until then, have an absolutely beautiful end to your day.